Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome. I know I'm a little bit early, but I'm coming on early because I wanted to let you guys know a few things before we can get started. First of all, please download the workbook below. It's like the green button. It says download the workbook. It's the part that we did last time, plus the part that we are going to do today. So please download it. And if you still have time to print it if you want, that's fine too. Also, if possible, attend from a computer, not from your phone, so that you can write and watch at the same time. And also get some pen and paper or open a document on your computer, any way that you feel comfortable to take notes. So again, download the workbook, green button down here. Get on a computer rather than a phone, or iPad could probably also work, as long as you can have like either two tabs open or watch and write at the same time. And then have pen and paper or a document on your computer open. That's what we will need today. So, and I'll give you a few minutes to do that. And in the meantime, I'll see who's here today. So we have Shauna from Iowa. Hi, Shauna. We have Val from London. Woohoo. We have Liz from California. We have Karen from Brisbane in Australia. What time is it where you are, Karen? We have Val from London, Maria from Ontario, Canada. We have Rami, I hope I'm saying your name right, from Kentucky in the US. Sonia from Mexico. We have Mari from Florida. Sandra from Gloucester. Is that how you say it? I've lived here in the UK for a year, but I still don't know how to pronounce all these names that are written one way, but then you pronounce them in a completely different way. So I think it's Gloucester. Gloucestershire? I'm not sure. Anyway, so then we have Clara from Pennsylvania, Louisa also from London, Mark also from the UK, Honey from Dorset, Maria Gonzalez from Northern California. Hi, Maria. I hope it worked out with the workbook. Kelly from Waterloo, Ontario. Sarah from Portland, Oregon. Welcome, 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 everyone. Remember, please download the workbook. You can see the green button below. It says download the workbook, pretty obvious. Be somewhere and where you are undisturbed. Be on a computer or an iPad, or at least prop up your phone so that you can also take notes and work with the workbook. And have pen and paper ready, or a document on your computer or something like this, again, so that you can watch and take notes at the same time and work in your workbook. So that's really important. All right. So I will wait 1-2 more minutes for people to arrive. Melissa from Canada. I don't know what NB is. Northern something, I would think. Let us know in the chat, Melissa. I'm learning a lot of geography on this show, by the way, guys. Lexi from Texas, Fort Worth, Texas. Melissa, Grand Rising to you as well. Priscilla from London, hi. Melissa, hi, Melissa. And Lori says hi to everyone. We have Crystal from Louisiana. And she just got my book, yay, so happy. Daru from Slovakia. Sue from the UK, lots and lots of people. I'm so happy. Natalie from Germany, or Natalie. Also Amy, also from Germany, hi. And it's 3:30 a.m. in Brisbane. Oh my God, thank you so much for being here with us. You must be really tired. Oh, New Brunswick, that's it, thank you. New Brunswick in Canada, right? I should have known that. All right, so isn't that also, I'm totally not sure, but isn't that also where this island is from and from Green Gables. I might be totally off. Let me know in the chat. All right, so what time is it? All right, one more time, guys. See the green button below. It says download the workbook. You can download it there. Print it out if you want, or just have it on your computer. Please also have pen and paper ready, and also make sure that you at least prop up your phone so you can take notes. Even better, be on a computer for today, because today we're doing the book club again. Yes, it's definitely a commitment, 3:30 in the morning from Australia. Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. All right, everyone. I hope, I think we're going to get started. All right. So again, welcome to the Spirit Guide Show. I hope that you're all well. I hope that if you're still in lockdown like me, and I'm getting tired of it, and I'm guessing you too, but I hope we're getting through this. We will. This is the second part of our 4 episodes of our book club special. So what's the book club series? Over 4 weeks, we discuss and reflect on my book, The 7 Types of Spirit Guide, How to Connect and Communicate with Your Cosmic Helpers. And this is the book, in case you have never seen it before. This is what it looks like. It's a bit shiny, so hard to see. But here you go. In case you haven't read it yet, you can get it on Amazon or anywhere else that books are sold in every country around the globe, I think. So you can also get it at Waterstones, Booktopia, and wherever else people buy their books. You can also go to your local bookshop if it's open and ask them to order it if they don't have it already. And we will conclude this 4-part book club series with a spirit guide ceremony on March 6th or 7th. Now I'm confused. Anyway, that's Saturday. So either March 6th or March 7th. And during that ceremony, you will have the opportunity to participate in a ceremony and connect with your own personal spirit guides. And you can then go on and use that ceremony to do it again and again and again. So I'm teaching you like how to do it, and you can go off and do as many ceremonies as you want and connect with as many spirit guides as you want. So don't miss it. And I'm definitely super excited about this, and I hope you are too. If you are excited about this upcoming spirit guide ceremony, let me know in the chat. Just type something like yes or excited or something like that. And while you're at it, share this, like the episode today, with anyone who might be interested in watching the show with us today. There's a share button up there. It literally says share. You can click on it and invite people to come. It's the 6th? Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for letting me know. I thought that was confusing with the 7th. So March 6th is when the Spirit Guide ceremony happens. Also, if you are watching on YouTube or on Facebook, this is simultaneously broadcast to YouTube and Facebook, then you realize that you can't ask questions there. Later on, I will do readings if we still have time, and I can only do that here on Crowdcast. So go to the description, either above or below, depending on where you're watching, YouTube or Facebook. Find the link. You have to just go to the description, scroll down to the end, and there's a link. Click that link and join us here, because again, only here can I do mini readings for you, and only here can you ask questions, etc. While you do that, let me introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Jamile J. Munja, and I'm a spirit guide medium, which means that I can sense other people's spirit guides around them and give them messages from their spirit guides. I'm also a Hay House author. And again, this is my book, The 7 Types of Spirit Guide, which we are going to talk about today. The 7 Types of Spirit Guide, how to connect and communicate with your cosmic helpers. If you have any tech issues, like suddenly you can't hear me anymore or can't see me anymore, please reload the page, refresh like your browser window. And that usually solves the problem. If you see someone else having problems like this, please just tell them exactly this in the chat to refresh their browser window or their tab. Right, and so I hope we can start. So like I said earlier, today we will discuss and reflect on my book, specifically part 2. Chapters 4 to 10. These are the chapters that are about the specific types of guide. There are 7 types of guide. Every chapter is about one of the types of guide. Again, if you haven't yet, download the workbook, green button below. But before we start, I want to invite you to a special event on Tuesday, February 23rd. So that's this coming Tuesday. It's a series of 5 talks by 5 different Hay House authors, new authors. I know some of them, and it's amazing. And I will kick off the series with a workshop on spirit guides. And my session is on Tuesday, February 23rd. Since you read my book, some of it will be familiar. However, I'm inviting you because we will practice connecting with your spirit guides. I'm teaching basically the core part of the ceremony. And even though we are going to do it during the ceremony, it's much better if you practice a few times before we do the ceremony. So this is the perfect preparation for our ceremony on March 6th. And it's at 7 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. EST, so that's New York, and 11 a.m. PST, so that's San Francisco and the West Coast. If you can't make it live, totally fine. You will be able to watch the replay, and that works just as well. You can practice just as well if you watch the replay. And the price is only 12 pound sterling. That's around $16 US, so it's not much. And you can also get a series ticket to watch all 5 talks, so mine and those of the 4 other Hay House authors, for only 19.99 pounds, and that's about $28 US. So you get 5 talks for less than $30. It's a pretty good deal. And you get the replays for all of these 5 talks. And I will put the link in the chat. Give me a second. Sorry, guys, I just clicked the link. That was not what I was supposed to do. Hold on. I'm trying to copy the link. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Almost there. All right. So here's the link. Maybe click it now so that like a new tab opens, and then keep it for later so that you can get your tickets. All right, so let's get started with part 2 of the book club. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, come on over here because only here can you ask questions. Only here can you get readings later. Find the link in the description and click on it, and you'll automatically join us here. We won't go through the whole workbook. I picked just a few questions for us today, just like we did last time. And you can do the rest on your own over the coming week. So we will discuss the 7 types of spirit guide. And I know most of you already know about that. I'll just give a really short overview. And then we will look at what the connection to your type of spirit guide, to your main guide, says about you. And 2, and this is the most important part, ideas to personalize a spirit guide ceremony specifically for your type of spirit guide, because every type of spirit guide is different, just like every person is different. And so you want your spirit guide ceremony to be individually geared towards your type of guide. And so that's what we're going to look at today. So these are the more reflective questions, and hearing the answers from other people can be very inspiring and enlightening. And you should be able to fill out the workbook on your computer, but if you run into any problems with the workbook, don't worry, you can simply write the questions we will discuss today. So you can write them down. I will tell you exactly what the questions are. You can write them down and then answer them in a notebook, on a piece of paper, or on a note on your computer. And then if time permits, I'll also do some mini readings towards the end of the show. All right, so let's get started. Let me share my screen. Here we go. All right, I hope you guys can see this. Let me see if you can see this. You should see the workbook now. And we are at part 2. So if you have the workbook, just scroll down or go to part 2. That's chapters 4 to 10. And the workbook is organized the same way as the book according to chapters. And Lori asked if we have identified many guides. Should we personalize according to the main one or the one we want to connect with? That's really up to you. Either the main one or one that you really feel you want to connect with. Just trust your own intuition. That's really my main lesson for everyone. Trust your own intuition over anything else. All right. You can see my screen. Perfect. Great. Thank you so much. All right. So open the workbook, get your pen and paper or a blank document on your computer. But before we even get into the workbook, I want to give a brief overview over the 7 types of spirit guide, just to jog your memory. All right. So we have number 1, angels are the messengers of the divine. They are highly vibrational, loving, and non-judgmental. This means that they can inspire the same sentiments in us. Ancestors include members of our family lineages, and sometimes they can be vocational or spiritual predecessors. Let's say you're really interested in Hindu traditions. And then maybe you have a spirit guide that is from that tradition, not related to you, but still in a sense like a spiritual ancestor. They often assist us with practical advice when it comes to healing family karma. This is when they're in your family lineage, of course. When it comes to family karma, uncovering inherited talents that are being passed down through your family lineage, uncovering inherited talents, exactly, and finding our spiritual roots. Number 3, ascended masters. They once walked the earth as humans, just like you and I do, excuse me, but reached enlightenment and therefore left the reincarnation cycle. And they have really great wisdom to share and can help us develop our spiritual gifts, like become more psychic, mediumistic, intuitive, etc. They can help us connect with our higher self, because that's their specialty. They connected with their higher self, and that's why they were able to reach enlightenment and leave the reincarnation cycle. And develop compassion for our fellow humans, because they know what it's like to be here, how hard it can be. All right, number 4, nature spirits are the guardians of planet Earth, which means that they like to work. Let me put them, yeah, so you can see me, because we're not really doing anything with the workbook right now. So again, nature spirits are the guardians of planet Earth, which means that they like to work with humans who are environmentally conscious. They help us develop our manifesting skills, because they are the ones who literally like form nature. And so they know how to manifest and create things. They also help us to stay playful and curious and align with Mother Nature. Number 5, star beings, otherwise known as aliens. But star beings is like a broader term. So for example, it also includes non-physical beings. It also includes the stars and planets themselves. And they inhabit the physical and non-physical dimensions of other planets. They are here to help us develop a cosmic consciousness, guide the evolution of humanity as a whole, and teach us about how to work with energies. All right, number 6, animal guides. These are not the souls of an individual animal, but rather the spirit of an entire species. And they often act as protectors and teachers. Their mission is to align us with our inner nature, our bodies, like our physical body, and the physical realm. And especially for like spiritual types, that's a really big topic because we like to be out there in the non-physical realms and we kind of don't pay enough attention to our physical bodies and existence. So animal guides are really useful. And then number 7, deities, otherwise known as gods and goddesses, and they command attention and devotion. And devotion for a lot of people sounds scary, but really it just means that they want you to be committed. So commitment is another word. So they don't like to work with people that are not serious about their spiritual path. They like it when you are devoted and committed and really want to progress on your spiritual path. And they teach us how to develop leadership skills, build a legacy, and step into our power. All right, so now I know we talked about this briefly last time, but share with us in the chat which type of guide is your main guide or the guide you would like to work with. So just type in which one it is. Let me recap real quick. Angels, ancestors, ascended masters, nature spirits, star beings, animal guides, or deities. Which one is the one you want to work with? Which one is your main guide? All right. And then go to the corresponding chapter in the workbook. So we have chapter 1 is deities. Chapter 5 is ancestors. Chapter 6 is ascended masters. Chapter 8 is nature spirits. Chapter 9 is animal guides. Chapter 10 is angels. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. All right, so we have Natalie says nature spirits, Maria says angel, Amy says nature spirits, Jennifer says deities, Sandra says nature spirits, Anna's main guide is an angel, Glitzy says star being, Eunice says ascended master, Maria says ancestors, Priscilla says angel. Lots of angel people here. Yvette says ancestor. Geraldine says deity. Nicole says star being. Awesome. So go to that chapter in your workbook. You just have to scroll down, or if you printed it, just like go there. Again, chapter 4, deities. Chapter 5, ancestors. Chapter 6, ascended masters. Chapter 8, nature spirits. Chapter 9, animal guides. Chapter 10, angels. It's the same as in the original book. All right, everyone ready? Here, now let me share this. Let me share my screen again. There we go. All right, so this is part 2, the 7 types of spirit guide. And this is, for example, chapter 4, deities, and we will work with this, or at least I do. Let me make this a little bit smaller. All right, so, okay, so all right, so here now keep scrolling. So here we have what do you already know about deities? So for you, it could be nature spirits or angels or whatever it is. It's the same like for every chapter, really. So what do you already know? We're not doing this today, but there are 2 questions here. What have you had any personal experiences with your main guide, deities, angels, whatever it is? What exactly are deities, angels, etc.? You can find the answer. Well, not this first question, but the second question, what exactly is a deity, etc. You can find the answer in the book, so you can answer it yourself. Then we have the next page is about the characteristics. What are the 3 characteristics of deities? Again, you can look that up in the book itself. The same goes for gifts. And then we have the challenges. What challenges can it bring to work with deities? There are also 3. And it's also important to think about what can you do to avoid these challenges. Again, you can find the answers in the book. All right, so now where we want to go today is, what does your connection to your main guide say about you? You can consult the book and look up the answer in every chapter. Towards the end, there's a part called "What Does It Say About You?" that your guide is a deity, angel, nature, spirit, whatever. But the point of talking about this today is for you to also go beyond the book. Look at your own life and find the signs and synchronicities that show you why this type of guide is working with you. Basically, I want you to start thinking for yourself and connect the dots and draw your own conclusions instead of just relying on me, on books, or the internet to tell you what it means. So take a few minutes and write everything down that comes to mind. Don't overthink it. Don't worry if you're making it up or if what you experienced was real or whatever. Just write anything down that comes to mind. Again, listen to your own intuition. And if you can really not come up with anything, then look it up in the book. There are 3 things in every chapter about every guide So in the book, it says, this is what it means when you work with these guides, 3 things, but I want you to come up with your own as well. And just close your eyes, think, and then write it down. And then, of course, when you're done, share with us in the chat. And I'll give you a few minutes to do this. And again, if you're not sure because you scored like the same number on 2 or 3 guides, listen to your own intuition. Pick the one that you think makes the most sense, or pick the one that you would like to work with. Kaylee wants to know, what deity rules over cause and effect? I'm not sure, but I'm sure someone knows. So please help Kaylee out and type that in the chat for her. So again, what does your connection to your main guide or your chosen guide say about you? There are 3 answers in the book, but also come up with your own. Start using your own intuition. That's part of the process. You need to strengthen your intuition. Otherwise, it's hard to connect with your guides. And by the way, your imagination is directly connected to your intuition. So don't be afraid to use your imagination generally. All right, so Sarah says, main guide, Ascended Master. I'm an academic lecturer and writer and teacher myself. Yes, that's a really good example. And always called to monastic and contemplative traditions all my life. I love spiritual and esoteric knowledge, not just to have it, but for how it enhances precision in meditative practice. And gratitude is my main spiritual modality. Gratitude fills me like liquid honey so much. Perfect. Awesome. Anna says, I have some healing and clearing of some blocks that needs to take place before I can fulfill my life purpose. 2 of my guides are angels and 1 is a fairy. Great. I want to challenge you a little bit on this because I think that oftentimes our purpose is directly connected to our spiritual path. So if we go through some internal healing, we are living our purpose. Because when we go through a healing, we change the energy in the world. And that itself is living your purpose. So don't think you have to do something before you live your purpose. You are already living your purpose. It's more about recognizing how you are living your purpose. Just something to think about. Mason says many deities are in charge of C and E. I'm not sure what that means. Depends on who is leading you. I'm not sure what that means. Let us know in the chat. Jennifer says, I'm regal and I'm oops. I lost it. Where are you? Oh, there. I'm regal and I'm stepping into my full power, including developing my clairaudience. Go its fullest and opening my third eye chakra and to be an amazing source of light. And I love to everyone and to lead people with harmony and love always running through me. Deities is my main guide. Yes, I figured from what you just said. Spela says, nature spirits, they are like my true nature, playful, and my role is to protect Mother Nature. I organize coastal cleanups. Oh, that's so awesome. I feel at home by the ocean, water, and in the forest. Clara says, my deity is trying to help me become better at self-discipline that I need to excel in life. Perfect. Michelle says, the Furies, I don't know how to pronounce the Erinyes. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, sorry. Goddesses of revenge and retribution. That could be your cause and effect. Oh, that's the answer to the question earlier. Right, maybe. Liz says, my main guide is an angel. What this says about me, I am non-judgmental, love all beings, and care for others, but that I need to set boundaries. Yes, so important for anyone who works with angels and really everyone who is like on a spiritual path, because we're so sensitive. I would love to work with an ascended master to learn more discernment and to ground more to the 3D and to connect to earth and serve in my purpose. Your angel can help you do that as well, don't worry. But you can also call out to an ascended master and ask if one of them wants to work with you. No problem at all. Amy says, nature spirits, I have always felt the most at peace when in nature and have always been drawn to take care of the natural environment and keep it clean. I feel drawn to learn to be a healer through natural herbs, energies, crystals. Everything in this chapter feels like me. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Jill says, I feel energy in woodlands and nature spirits are my main guides. I care about the environment and would like to help environmental causes. Well, perfect. Maybe you can join, I forget the name, but the person who does beach cleanups. Connect with each other. Make it a worldwide cause. Oh, C and E is cause and effect. Yes, I understand now. Maria says, as a Latina, there is much healing necessary in my cultural past and present. Ancestors are giving me strength to stand in my highest healer self. They have presented a few times, and last time they said, we are your ancestors. Beautiful. Mason says, star beings. That number one, that there is what it says about him. Number one, that there is life beyond what we humans are shown, and we are ready to connect to it for our highest best. Number two, healing myself and others using ancient and futuristic knowledge via medical intuition and psychic herbalism. Wow. And number three, I am an open and ever-evolving conduit of intergalactic energy. Great. Awesome. Sandra says, nature spirits love to be outside, here to support others to live well in harmony with the earth. Beautiful mission. Yvette says, I am an old soul. I believe that my ancestors want to tell me something important. I want to connect with my ancestral purpose. Great. All right, I can't read all of them. I'll skip a few and then I'll read. Bonnie says, I'm a child of order. I work with karma, nemesis, and am a spiritual leader. I tap many guides, sometimes too many. I am used as the universe sees fit. Well, yes, that's the same for me. I connect with lots and lots and lots of different spirits, but I still have like a team that is closest to me and that works with me throughout my life. So pay attention to that. I'm pretty sure you have like some main guides as well, and you can still work with lots of others, hundreds or thousands, but you probably have a team of guides. See if that feels right for you. And Glitzy says, I'm really not so much into science fiction. My first guide is nature spirit, but I am again and again guiding to read, watch films, etc. about space and the planets. And then the best gift my mom ever gave me is a book with the title, We Are Not Alone. And it is, of course, about whatever we will someday find in space. So I think the star beings have a hand in that. That's interesting. I was the same. I was never into like, there are people that are completely into aliens and everything, science fiction and all that. And I wasn't, but I definitely have a star being that works with me. And then Natalie says, I'm really drawn into nature since a few years. I feel so peaceful and at home when in forests and by lakes and rivers. And I also feel the need for so much healing all around me in nature. I want to take part and help in that while still preserving my own lightheartedness, joy, and hope. Awesome. All right, so let me see about the time. Yes, we need to move on. But thank you guys so much for sharing in the chat. And I usually go back to the chat later and I read everything that's in there. So really, thank you for sharing. Okay, so let's move on to the next page of the workbook. It's just really one page further, where it says planning your spirit guide ceremony. You guys found that? All right, so now this is the fun part where we get to start designing the spirit guide ceremony we will do together in 2 weeks on March 6th, not March 7th, March 6th. You will see the following questions. What inspired you about how people from different cultures and throughout history have connected with your main guide? And again, this is from the book, The 7 Types of Spirit Guide. It's in there. And the second question is, what elements can you incorporate into your own DIY spirit guide ceremony? These 2 questions relate to the last part of the chapter on your main guide in the actual book. And it's that part in the book is called Communication Across Cultures. At the very end of these chapters, chapter 4 to 10, depending on which main guide you're working with right now. And in that part called Communication Across Cultures, I give examples from around the world, how people in the past and nowadays work with these types of guides. So if you don't remember, like refer to the book. Again, it's the last part of these chapters. So the last part of the nature spirit chapter, the last part of the angel chapter, etc. So you can just glance over that if you don't remember. And I will give you a bit more time here to jot down your answers and then share in the chat. And don't forget, this is an important part for our ceremony in 2 weeks. And you can, of course, work on this during the week as well. Take some more notes. Just keep it in mind every time you remember something, write it down. And I'll give some examples. For example, if you work with nature spirits, then you might want to collect crystals or something from outside, branches that you like, leaves, river stones, whatever it is that catches your eye, feathers that you find, and bring them home and then use them in the ceremony later on in 2 weeks. If your main guide is an angel, then maybe find a little angel statue and use that, or maybe get angel wings, the ones you can actually wear, or maybe a t-shirt with an angel on it or something, or a t-shirt that literally says angels, or something that has to do with your main guide. And go to Google and first read the part in the book about how different cultures and spiritual traditions have communicated with your main guide throughout history and spiritual traditions and cultures. And then Google a little bit if you can find more examples, and then see what inspires you. Don't necessarily copy exactly what other cultures and spiritual traditions are doing, but you can be inspired by it. Copying doesn't make sense because we are not part of that culture or spiritual tradition, and there's usually a lot of symbolism that goes into what they're doing, and so that completely goes over our head because we don't understand it, so there's no point. But you can be inspired. For example, you could, as lots of you know, a lot of Native American and indigenous cultures in the US use like the 4 directions, and a lot of other cultures do too. And so we can also use the 4 directions and bring objects that represent the 4 directions. For example, a candle for the south. And so in this way, we can be inspired by others. And that's why I put all the examples in the book from different cultures, traditions, etc. All right. Eunice has an interesting question. I feel that ascended masters, like many of us, have lived so many lives that they wouldn't have certain culture that they'd be attached to, or is it just how I feel my ascended master might appear to me? I think that's individual. I'm sure that some ascended masters like certain traditions just because they lived in them, but I don't think they're attached to it. But the point is not so much that they have to be attached to it. It's just more that if there is, let's say, a long tradition that has worked with ascended masters, they have found ways of how to communicate with these ascended masters. They basically built a door for you that you can use instead of you having to build your own. And that's the whole point. I hope that makes sense. So again, for example, nature spirits, it makes sense to go outdoors. I mean, here in London, it's a bit cold to do that right now. But generally, if you are in a place where you have a safe place out in nature, then do your ceremony there. You know, it makes sense. If you want to connect with your ancestors, it makes sense to like build a little altar inside your home. Like, because home is connected to family and family is connected to ancestors. And so there are certain things that you can use that humans in general have discovered. It's just like a science. You don't want to reinvent the wheel. You look at history and see, oh, this worked in the past for so many different people, so maybe it works for me as well. That's the whole point. So here, Nicole says, I initially wanted to connect to star beings, but nature spirit information has been coming through. I'm being called to plant medicines, looking into exploring ayahuasca. Great. So maybe you don't want to take ayahuasca when we do our spirit guide ceremony, but you could look at herbs and plants like that enhance psychic abilities. So not necessarily stuff that is psychedelic. I don't want to be responsible for that, but you could find something else. Just Google like what herbs enhance psychic abilities, and then make a tea with that and drink that tea before you do the ceremony. That's another good example. Jennifer asks, how do we know which ascended master we are working with? You don't for now. Connecting with your spirit guides is not something that happens like this. I know we live in a culture that wants immediate results right away, but working with spirit guides is a process. So start with, be happy that you know it's an ascended master, and then start connecting with that ascended master. You don't have to know exactly who that ascended master is for now. You can just connect with them, just like you can connect with a dog, even though that dog and you don't speak the same language, and maybe that dog doesn't even have a name. So what you want to do is do the ceremony, connect with them, understand what their energy feels like, so that you know, oh, I'm connecting with that spirit guide, and then keep connecting. And over time, you will learn more about your guide, just like with human relationships. You learn more and more over time. The more you connect, the more you go out for coffee or whatever it is that you do with like new friends, the more you learn about that person. And it's the same process. Give it time and practice, practice, practice. That's how you know. Maria says, to honor ancestors, I already have an altar. For ceremony, I will use actual photographs of my lineage. I have been given eagle feathers. I also have artifacts from Aztec, Huichol, I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if it's wrong. And Mayan cultures. I will gather and re-energize these. I will play the drum that has been painted for me with my life story by my teachers. Yes, perfect. I mean, not everyone has these things. Not everyone has been giving these things. But yes, exactly. Like use the things that you have to connect with your guides and the things that make sense with the type of guide that you're working with. For example, if you're working with star beings, you could look at astrology. Like what happens on March 6th? Are there any astrological alignments, or is there a full moon or a new moon? And how can you incorporate that into your ceremony? Yes, Wendy also has a good example. So for star beings, I can collect moon water. That's a great suggestion. Amy says, I just got a fire pit and have loved sitting in front of it. Oh, yes, I love fire pits so much. Natalie says, I'm inspired by growing herbs and vegetables right now, although I've always said I had the opposite of a green thumb. But now, just since this year, I have a lot of little homegrown sprouts in my living room and kitchen that always make me happy when I look at them. I'd like to have them around me during the ceremony. Perfect. Use them, for example, if that's possible, to like create a sacred circle in which you can do the ceremony, or have a little altar where you place them. Sarah says, star being something bubbly and fizzy, darkness and light. Yes, you guys are awesome. You're all coming up with amazing examples. And it's all about creativity and imagination. Amy says, I'm planning on setting up a crystal grid in my backyard and co-creating my garden plan for the spring with my nature guides. Also want to include altar items which represent the 4 directions and elements. Yes, beautiful. And Liz talks about angels, and she says, the elements I would like to incorporate in my ceremony are crystals, candles, runes, water, plants, statues, and scripture. Perfect. Whatever you feel called to do, listen to your intuition. Again, that's the main thing. Listen to your intuition. Melissa says, any tips for creating an altar inconspicuously when you live with others? Yeah, like maybe get a little shoebox or something that you and put like a mini altar in there. Close it, put it in your closet if you don't need it. Get it out when you do need it, and you know it's there. No one else does. An altar doesn't have to be like a big thing. Or just choose like your favorite plant in the house and just place like a crystal and a feather in there, or maybe a candle in front of it. No one knows that it's an altar, but you do. Glitzy says, star beings, I'm doing a lot of Joe Dispenza's meditations. He's into activating the pineal gland, which is the direct contact to above, and he always sends you into the black field of co-creation, the space where we become nothing, nobody, and are nowhere. It intrigues me very much. I see myself floating in space and there connecting all there is. Perfect. That sounds really awesome. Maria says the Hubble Space Telescope is constantly photographing space where stars are being born. Photos of star nebulas where stars are being created honor the star beings. Yes, that's an awesome example. I love that. Yes, so I hope you guys like found some inspiration in what everyone shared. Again, use your intuition, use your imagination, use your playfulness, and just come up with some fun ideas that you can use that make sense. All right, and keep working on this throughout the week, and then next week we will use this again as well. All right, where are we? Right, so that's it for the book club today. And let's do some readings. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, come on over to Crowdcast. There's a link in the description. Find the link, click on the link, come here, because only here can I do readings for you. I cannot see your comments on Facebook or on YouTube right now. All right, so I think most of you know already, but my definition of spirit guides is any kind of being from the higher realms that is connected to us in unconditional love and wants to help us on our spiritual path and in day-to-day life is a spirit guide. And we all have a team of guides, not just one. And the one that has the most important message will be the one that steps forward for you today when you get a reading. And you get the messages that you need to hear, which might be different from what you expect to hear or even want to hear. That does not mean that they're going to say anything negative. They never do. They would never do that. There's no point. They are your spirit guides. They are helping. They're friendly. They're like your best friend. They would never say any negative. All right. So I usually close my eyes because it helps me to focus. And then I will give you the message. Here's what you need to do. Go find the Ask a Question section. It's down there below the green button. Oh, and let me make my screen big again. There we go. Green button. Below that is the Ask a Question section. And if you've never had a reading from me before, so you've never like done a one-on-one reading with me, you've never gotten a mini reading here on the show, only then please type first time. Nothing else. Like no whole sentence, no thank you, no please, just type first time. And you don't have to like write in capitals, I see you, you don't have to shout at me. So just first time. And I will pick random people, and I trust that spirit knows what they're doing and pick the right people. And if I pick you, I will invite you on screen, and you'll get a little notification that says that I invited you on screen. And so you say, yes, I want to come on screen and get a reading. And then I will do a reading for you. So I usually invite 2, 3, 4 people at the same time. And then I will do one after the other. And one last time, if you're on YouTube or on Facebook, find the link in the description. Come on over here to Crowdcast, because only here can you get a mini reading. All right. Let's see. Louisa, I'll answer that question real quick. She wants to know, once this live ends, can we access it in video version, or is it just a simple live and that's it? No, you can come back to it, the exact same URL, and watch the replay here. And you can like pause it, you can do whatever. You can't download it, but you can watch it here. A unicorn, sorry, there's more questions. I don't want to answer all the questions, but what type of guide is a unicorn? It can be an animal guide. It could also be a nature spirit. What do you guys think? I'm curious. All right, so wait, there's one more question. There were only 3. I'll answer that as well. Why, when taking this quiz several times, do I get different guides? Because you give different answers. Very simple. And also, usually it's just like with tarot cards. Like you do it, you pick one card, you see it, you might not like it, and you're like, I don't want this one. And so you pick the next. So usually go with what you get first. Because afterwards you already know the questions and you kind of manipulate the answers. And so I would go with what you got first. All right, so I'm going to invite Kaylee, and I'm going to invite... No, you have to have your camera on for a reading here, because it's not much fun for people watching if they can't see you, and also it makes it easier for me when I can see you. I'm going to invite Natalie, and I'm going to invite Sue, and I'm just going to keep going until someone shows up. And I'm going to invite Geraldine. Still no one here? Oh, there we have someone. Yay. Hold on, let me close the workbook. And then now, how do I put both of us on here? Oh, this is okay. Okay. I didn't know this was possible. You have everyone like in small and one person in big, but I would like to have both of us. Anyway, we'll do it like this. Otherwise it takes too long. Hi, Kaylee.
Hi.
I can't hear you.
Oh.
Nope. Can you try unplugging your headphones? Like, and plug them from your device. Oh, wait, now you're muted. Hold on. And I can't unmute you. I'm not sure why. Can you unmute yourself? I don't think so, but... All right, you know what? I'm going to go with someone else first. Try to figure it out. But I have a feeling everyone's muted. That is... Can I unmute you? Yes, okay. Okay, hold on. We're going to go with Sue first. Hi, Sue. Hi, Sue. I can see you. Hello. You're wearing like a bluish cardigan. Can you say something, Sue? Sue, hi. Yes, I'm talking to you. Hi, Sue. Not sure what's going on today. All right, then we'll try Natalie first. Hold on, let me... Yes, now. Try to say something, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
That is so weird. I can't hear anyone. Okay, hold on. Can you guys hear her? Or can you guys hear them? Maybe it's just me. Hold on. Can
Okay. So that's a good sign. Oh, no, now I can't hear Jamila anymore.
No, me neither.
Hello? Hello?
We broke it.
I can hear.
I can't hear either.
I can hear all of you actually, except for Jamila.
I can't hear you either.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
We figured it out. All right. So, sorry about that. All right. So let me close my eyes and I'll tune in and then I'll tell you what I see. Are you ready, Natalie?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, I forgot to say that when I do readings, it's not always necessarily the main guide that shows up. It can be like one of the other guides. It can be an expert. These are the ones that come and go to help you with specific things. All right, so let's see. Like I said, the one that has the most important message will be the one that steps forward. And there's definitely an angel here for you.
Oh, wow.
And it's a male angel. And he's a guardian angel. And he's telling me that he has saved you once. Do you remember like any situation that was like kind of like dangerous, maybe even close, like a close call, or where you like got away from a situation that might have gone bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got away from my home when I was a child.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, he says he helped you with that. I'm trying to get his name, but it's a name I don't know, and then it's always hard. I know it starts with an S. I can't quite grasp it. It's similar to like something like Sandor or Sun. No, Sun. I'm not sure, but it's something with SAN.
Okay.
All right. So, and his message is that he wants you to trust yourself, and specifically when it comes to protecting yourself. He says you can be a little bit mistrustful when it comes to other people, and that's totally fine. Healthy boundaries are necessary. But he says you can trust yourself when it comes to other people, in the sense of you have a good intuition if someone is friendly or has like doesn't have your best interest at heart. You're actually pretty good at that, but you need to trust that own instinct that you have and live by it. So when you meet someone and like right away you feel like, yeah, maybe like on the outside they're all nice and everything is perfect and you feel like, oh, this would be an awesome friend or whatever, but something inside of you says, I'm not sure, I don't trust this person, then don't. Then take things very, very slowly. But if there's someone, and maybe on the outside that person might not look like you can trust them, but your inside says, oh, I feel like I can totally trust them, then listen to that as well.
Wow.
And he says he will help you with that. And he says you can also trust him to keep you safe.
That is so sweet.
But he says, yeah, trust yourself, because you have like good like instincts and intuition when it comes to judging other people in that sense. And I think that's it.
Thank you so much.
I hope that makes sense.
That was very unexpected, because angels didn't show up at all, like in the quiz or so. And I've actually talked a lot to angels like in my childhood, and I've somehow lost like faith in, I'd say, the typical church angel, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, I've not believed in them anymore, so to speak, since my childhood, and so that he now stepped forward and said he was the one who saved me. And
oh, are you okay?
And yeah, okay, it's true. I don't trust people easily.
Yeah.
And it's very reassuring to hear like, I'm still here for you, even if maybe we lost each other.
Yeah. Well,
it seems like no connection. So
yeah, there you are. You're back reconnected. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, so let's see. Now we have, let's try again with Kaylee. Let's see if I can still not unmute you, and I don't know why. I usually can, but it just doesn't work. I'm not sure. Okay, we're gonna try anyway. What we're gonna do is I'll do the reading, and when I ask you something makes sense, you will have to use your thumb to say yes, no, or even type in the chat, okay? It makes it a little bit more complicated, but I don't know what's going on, why I can't unmute you. Anyway. All right, so Kaylee, I'm gonna close my eyes, and then I'll open them to see if you say yes, no. All right, let's see. And by the way, hi, who are you? Hi. All right, let's see. Oh, by the way, your little one has a nature spirit around her. I can feel that right away. Anyway. Oh, I can suddenly hear something. Oh, but that's Geraldine. Geraldine, please keep yourself muted. Okay, Kaylee. No, they want me to look at you again. All right. All right, so there's a star being here for you. And I have a feeling that might be a surprise for you. Does that make sense? That it's a star being? Is that a surprise? Okay, so maybe it's like, yeah, that's good too. Okay. And I'm not sure why, but this star being is singing. It's a female. Usually star beings don't always like want to be gendered in that sense, but this one is female, and she's just standing there and singing. Does that make any sense to you? Are you a singer? Do you like okay, good. Okay. Okay, and she says connect your connection to star beings is very much through like energies, and star beings often work with energies, and people that work with energies are good at feeling energies and working with energies. And she says yours particularly is music, and when you sing, even if it's just in the shower or on the stage or however, wherever you sing, that's when you have a good connection to star beings and to these other realms. And that's a good way for you to get downloads and get inspiration. Would that make sense? Do you sometimes when you sing like or listen to music, do you get like inspiration or ideas? Yeah. Okay. And I'm also getting that you should do more with your singing. There is a different way for you to use it, and it definitely has to do with like an audience. Do you sing in front of audiences now, or just for yourself? Well, I think there's an opportunity for you to do that in front of an audience. And don't freak out. It doesn't have to be like Carnegie Hall or something. It can be just be, just start with friends and family. And you don't have to make it like a big thing, but just when you go for a walk with someone, maybe sing with them or something. But basically what you're being asked to do is like, don't hide your musical abilities, but find opportunities to share them with others in some way, shape, or form. Because by doing that, you are basically downloading these energies and putting in or creating music with the energies, and then it has to go somewhere. So you have to share it with someone. Otherwise, it's just for you. But the point is that you are a bridge for these energies, so they have to go somewhere. So find a way, and it doesn't matter how, to share this with others. And the other, there are two reasons to do this. One, again, to share with others and therefore bring these energies into the world. Two, to strengthen your own self-confidence, because she says your self-confidence is not strong enough. It can be stronger, or what, not strong enough is not the right word. Your self-confidence could be higher because you are an amazing being and you have a lot of skills and talents to share. And so there's no reason to not feel self-confident. And she wants to help you to build that confidence, and you will need it in the future. Because there are more opportunities for you to come to do things in front of an audience. And so this is a good opportunity to start working on that. So just keep your eyes open for any kind of opportunity where you can do this. Yeah, and that's the message. So I hope that helps you, and let us know like when you are going to be singing in front of an audience at any point in the future. All right. Thank you so much for coming. All right. And now we have Geraldine. Hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Oh.
Okay, sorry about that. I have a dog, so I was trying to keep him quiet.
That's okay. I'm trying to get us both on here, but I don't know. Yeah, no, there we go. All right, so
thank you.
Where are you in the world?
I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
All right, nice and warm, right? Or is it cold at the moment?
Today it's kind of cold, but I can't complain because we did have warm weather this week, opposed to other areas, so it's nice.
Nice.
And thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, sure, you're welcome. That's ancestors. There's an ancestor here. It's a male. For some reason, it makes me think of Cuba. I'm not sure, but like it's just like it makes me think of it. Why? I'm not sure. Do you have any connections to Cuba?
I don't have any ancestors in Cuba that I'm aware of, but it's possible. I'm from Louisiana originally, so.
I'm not sure. Right. It's not even that he looks Cuban. It's just like, I don't know. Just keep that in mind. Let's see. Yeah, now I know why I thought of Cuba. There's something, I don't know why there's something to do with tobacco, and I don't know why or what he's trying to say. Let me try again. Do you know if there were like tobacco plantations in Louisiana in the past? I can't hear you. You're muted. I can't hear you. You are muted. You must have muted yourself. Can you unmute yourself? Oh no, not again. How does that happen? Anyway, so do you know if there, like in the past, if there were, yes? Okay, maybe that makes sense then. Okay, let's see. This was so like I said, male, and somehow he's showing me a connection to tobacco. He's also he was definitely a hard worker. Not a city person. And he's also telling me that he lost his, when he was alive, he lost his wife early. And I can't quite say when this was, but I think maybe somewhere between the 20s and 40s, 20s, 30s, 40s, around that time. I'm not quite sure, but I think that's around that time. 20s, 30s, yeah. So let's see what he has to say. Okay, he says he wants to, because he was a hard worker, he says he wants to help you with your self-discipline. And he says there's something either already now or coming that requires self-discipline from you, like something that you're working towards that, yeah, requires a lot of work. Would you know what that is? We'll just go like this or this, yeah? Okay. So he says he's here to help you with that. So every time you struggle, you know, like you should do whatever it is that you need to do, and you have a hard time, then close your eyes, talk to your ancestors, ask them for help, and then do your thing. And he says he's not the only one who's around you, the only ancestor. And he says, whatever it is that you're working on, that why you need the self-discipline, is something that helps your ancestors. It is something that strengthens the ancestral lineage. And so it's in their interest to help you. I mean, they would help you anyway, but it's literally in their interest as well. And so on their side, they are working with you, and they are working to clear some family karma that is in your lineage, so that yeah, their energy can flow through to you and help you. So if stuff comes up that has to do with family and family karma and problems in the family, know that your ancestors are working on that, and that it is actually to your benefit. And he says they're very proud of you, and that you're a very strong person, and that there's a lot that you can accomplish in life. And they're rooting for you. Yeah, I think that's it. So I hope that makes sense. Awesome. I'm glad. I hope it helps you. All right, let me try unmute you one more time. I don't understand why this isn't working. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for coming. And maybe share a little bit in the chat, because I'm curious what all this is about. All right, so thank you so much for coming. If you want to book a one-on-one reading with me, you can do so at the following link, and I will put that in the chat now. And of course, the one-on-one reading is much longer. It's an hour, and you can ask questions, as many as you want. You can also go to my website, the Spirit Guide Medium, and there's like in the top menu, it says work with me. You can click on that, and there's a little drop down menu, and then you click on readings, and you can book it there. At the moment, there is like, I'm booked out for like 3 months. So almost, I think there are a few more in May that you can book. So if you know you want a reading, better do it now also, because like so many people want readings. I'm going to up the price a little bit. And so if you book now, you will still get the old price. I haven't decided yet when I will do it, but soon-ish. So yeah, and that's really it for today. And thank you so much for coming. And don't forget the event on Tuesday. Let me put the link in the chat one more time. Let me find the link. Here it is. Let me copy it and put it in the chat. And this event will be perfect to practice for our Spirit Guide ceremony. So I really recommend that you guys come. The tickets are really cheap, so I hope to see you there. And here's the link again. All right, thank you so much for coming, everyone. Next week we will do part 3 of our book club series, and that's the most important part for the ceremony on March 6th. So I hope to see you then, and thank you so much for coming, and have a nice day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever it is. All right, guys.